What does it cost to leave? For Rhonda Lockett, it cost her everything. 1 week. That's how long she'd been free from her marriage before her estranged husband showed up with a gun. Her teenage son found her. Deputies confirmed what no family should ever hear. And for 2 days, the man who promised to love her was on the run. This is Ridgeway, Virginia, where neighbors wave from porches and everyone knows everyone. Until the day they found Rhonda's body, and a whole town realized they'd missed the warning signs. You are watching DeepCrime TV, where we break down real stories about domestic violence and relationship crimes that shook communities. We don't sugarcoat it, we don't sensationalize it, we just tell you what happened. If you're into true crime that hits close to home, you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next case.
This past Saturday at approximately 12:15, we received a call to conduct a well-being check there on Garrett Road in Ridgeway. Our deputies responded shortly thereafter. Upon arrival at the home, they made contact with a 17-year-old male juvenile who had stated he had just found his mother in a state of distress and that she needed help. Our deputies immediately went inside. What we determined was that individual was in fact deceased at that time. Through the course of the investigation, this investigative team worked diligently, day in and day out, to bring justice to this family for this tragic incident. So what we determined is that the individual, Miss Rhonda Hairston Lockett, was in fact deceased from a single gunshot wound. Through the course of that investigation, they spent Saturday and Sunday collecting physical evidence, forensic evidence, and conducting witness interviews. As a result of that, we determined that Joseph Chad Lockett was responsible for her death. At such time, we charged him with first-degree murder. We currently have an outstanding first-degree murder warrant on him. We are looking for his whereabouts, so anyone who may know where he's at, please contact 911.
The sheriff's office now naming Joseph Lockett as a suspect in the deadly shooting of Rhonda Lockett.
Now, Joseph is her estranged husband.
Now, the sheriff's office says Joseph Lockett is wanted for first-degree murder. He should be considered armed and dangerous. Deputies do not believe he has a way to travel far.
They also say anyone found to be helping Lockett may be charged with accessory after the fact, which
I don't even for real know what to feel. Hurt, broke, mad, anger.
In Ridgeway, Virginia, a quiet stretch of Henry County where folks still look out for each other, peace got shattered on an October afternoon in 2025. Deputies rolled up to a brick home on Garrett Road after a 17-year-old boy told them his mama needed help. What they walked into, that's gonna haunt that town for years. Rhonda Hairston Lockett, 39 years old, mother of 2, lifeless in her bedroom. Now, to everybody who knew Rhonda, she was love in motion, hardworking, protective, patient, the kind of woman who'd give you her last just to see you smile. She'd spent 5 years at Drake Extrusion, steady job, steady paycheck, doing what she had to do for her boys, Omar Gravely and Xavier Hairston. She graduated from Magna Vista High School with dreams of becoming a nurse one day, built her whole life on faith and family. But girl, behind all those warm smiles and late-night phone calls to her sister Desania, there was a darker story unfolding, one of control, jealousy, and a love that had turned deadly. Just 4 years earlier, she'd said, "I do" to Joseph Chad Lockett from Fieldsboro, Virginia. Their April 2021 wedding was small, but it was full of hope, you know? They honeymooned in Las Vegas, laughing in that desert sun, believing the future belonged to them. But in the years that followed, something in Joseph changed. And 1 week after Rhonda finally decided to leave him, he came back to her doorstep with a gun. Like her brother Casey Alorn would later write, "My heart is crushed and broken over and over again. Justice will be served one way or another." This is the story of a woman who tried to walk away, and the man who couldn't let her live in peace. This is the murder of Rhonda Lockett. Rhonda Hairston Lockett's life started in Martinsville, Virginia, on April 3rd, 1986. Born to Linda Alorn and the late Lorenzo Jerome Hairston Sr., she grew up in a close-knit family that valued faith, hard work, and laughter. Sundays were for Antioch Christian Church, where Rhonda sang in the choir with a voice that seemed to pour straight from her soul. That warmth, that easy laugh, it made her unforgettable. Like, you meet Rhonda once and you remember her. She graduated from Magna Vista High School in 2004, and honestly, she was the kind of student people remembered for her kindness more than anything else. The friend who encouraged you when you were down, made bad days feel lighter. You know, after graduation, Rhonda took the steady road, working to build a reliable life for her children and her future. By May 16, 2020, she joined Drake Extrusion Incorporated, where she became known as dependable, upbeat, the coworker who'd dance during breaks or share a quick laugh over a TikTok. She loved music. She loved laughter. She loved her faith. But most of all, she loved her family. Rhonda was a devoted mother to her two sons, Omar and Xavier. Every decision she made centered around them, their schools, their sports, their dreams. Her sister Desanya and brother Casey often said Rhonda was the glue that kept everybody connected, especially after their father passed in October 2022. See, they'd already lost an older brother years before that, and that pain, it never truly faded. But still, Rhonda kept smiling, kept being the source of strength everybody needed. She was the one who called every day, remembered birthdays, never let love go unspoken. To people around her, Rhonda appeared to have finally found her balance, stable job, loving home, the promise of new beginnings. And that promise seemed to take shape on April 26, 2021, when she married Joseph Chad Lockett, a man from nearby Fieldsboro, Virginia. The wedding was intimate, filled with laughter and optimism. They sealed their vows beneath the spring sun, and soon after, they flew to Las Vegas for their honeymoon. Photos from that trip? Nothing but happiness. Two people smiling wide, caught up in believing love could conquer anything. In the months and early years after that, life looked good from the outside. Friends described them as a normal couple. Quiet, hardworking, private. Rhonda posted little glimpses of their life: online dinners, church events, family outings. There were no public fights, no obvious red flags. In Ridgeway, where gossip travels faster than weather reports, nobody saw the storm building. But behind those closed doors, the foundation started to crack. What began as small disagreements slowly turned into tension Rhonda couldn't ignore anymore. Family members noticed she was growing quiet about her marriage, deflecting questions with smiles that didn't quite reach her eyes. Those close to her, they could sense it. Control and jealousy had started replacing affection. Joseph's moods would swing. His words, once tender, became sharp. Rhonda, who'd spent her whole life caring for others, found herself trying to manage someone she couldn't understand anymore. Her brother Casey would later reveal that she made the hardest, most courageous choice of her life just 1 week before her death. She decided to leave him. After years of trying to make it work, she wanted peace. She'd started talking about starting fresh, focusing on her children and her future without the weight of a failing marriage. She was tired of the tension, tired of walking on eggshells, tired of believing love should hurt. It was a decision that carried quiet bravery. Like, the people who loved her knew she wasn't doing it out of anger. She was doing it out of hope. She'd already endured losing her father. Her family couldn't bear to see her lose herself too. Rhonda wanted to be free, to rediscover the laughter that once filled her life, the music that used to lift her spirit.
I love me. I love me. I love the person that I've became. Because now it's like I'm in charge. And I feel good about it. No shame. Yeah, I love me. My black is beautiful.
In the end, that step toward freedom, that's what cost her everything. On a quiet Saturday afternoon in Ridgeway, Virginia, around 12:15 p.m., on October 18, 2025, deputies from the Henry County Sheriff's Office got dispatched to 11159 Garrett Road after receiving a call about a welfare check. When they pulled up, a teenage boy, Rhonda's son, met them outside. His voice was trembling as he told them his mother needed help. Inside the home, officers stepped through a space that still carried traces of ordinary life. Folded laundry, a half-drunk cup of coffee, the faint scent of her favorite candles still lingering in the air. But in the back bedroom, they found Rhonda Hairston Lockett, lifeless. The scene told its own story. A single gunshot, no signs of forced entry, and no struggle strong enough to mask the intimacy of the crime. This wasn't random. This wasn't a stranger. This was personal. Within hours, detectives identified their prime suspect, Joseph Chad Lockett, Rhonda's estranged husband, from nearby Fieldsboro, Virginia.
Sheriff's deputies responding to a welfare check on Saturday found a woman dead in a home south of the Ridgeway area, and they've identified the victim as Rhonda Lockett. Investigators say the victim's estranged husband, Joseph Lockett, is a suspect. He's wanted for first-degree murder. Deputies say he should be considered armed and dangerous.
The man who'd once held her hand at an altar was now accused of pulling the trigger. Authorities quickly classified the case as homicide and launched a county-wide alert, warning residents that Joseph was armed and dangerous. By nightfall, the story started spreading online. Family and friends flooded social media with disbelief, sorrow, and straight-up rage. Among them was Rhonda's brother, Casey Alorn, who posted words that captured the heartbreak of an entire family. "My damn heart is crushed and broken over and over again. God knows I'd rather be in prison. My little sister Rhonda Lockett was a pure piece of love, and never did I question you. Damn it, I don't know what to feel. Thank you for always having my back and being there for me from day one. I love you forever. See you later, beautiful. Justice will be served one way or another." Damn. His grief echoed through Ridgeway, a small community stunned by the sudden loss of a woman everyone described as sunshine in human form. While the family was trying to process this nightmare, investigators fanned out across Henry County and neighboring Martinsville. Tips started coming in from the public. Sightings got reported. Law enforcement agencies joined forces tracing phone pings, surveillance footage, vehicle movements. For 2 tense days, Joseph Lockett was gone, and every hour that passed felt like a lifetime for Rhonda's family. Then, on Monday, October 20th, 2025, around 5:45 p.m., authorities located Joseph Lockett at 225 Niblet Drive in Martinsville. A brief standoff followed before he surrendered without any further violence. Sheriff Wayne Davis announced the arrest publicly, crediting the teamwork and persistence of investigators who'd worked around the clock to bring this case to closure. Joseph Lockett was charged with first-degree murder, use of a firearm in the commission of a felony, and times possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. His capture brought a measure of relief, but not peace. For Rhonda's family, the nightmare had only begun. In the days that followed, Henry County mourned one of its own. At Drake Extrusion Incorporated, co-workers set up a memorial at her workstation. Flowers, photos, handwritten notes that said what words couldn't. At home, friends gathered around her mother, Linda Alorn, trying to offer comfort that just didn't exist. On October 25th, 2025, the community came together and released balloons into the sky, each one carrying a prayer for Rhonda.
Rhonda Hairston was just 39, a mother to two boys, Marte and Zay. Her brother, Casey Alcorn, says she was driven, bubbly, and studying to become a nurse.
She was an awesome mother. She was a go-getter. She was on a mission, and she took care of her boys. She loved her boys. She would put her life on the line for her boys.
Police say it was one of those sons who found her shot and killed in her bedroom.
My nephew found her in the bed, checking on her, cold.
The Henry County Sheriff's Office says her estranged husband, Joseph Lockett, pulled the trigger. He was on the run for 2 days before surrendering to authorities at a home on Niblett Drive Monday. Just a week earlier, Alcorn says Rhonda made the decision to finally leave him for good.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful person, man. And she was just on a mission, man. Her life got cut short, man, by a miserable, soft coward.
Deputies have not released a motive, but her brother believes Lockett was not happy that she cut things off. Now he's trying to stay strong for his family.
I'm stuck right now, for real, just stuck and empty. But I'm gonna keep going, though, for her, for my nephews, for my mom and my little sister, as much as I can, man.
Lockett is being charged with first-degree murder, use of a firearm in the commission of a felony, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. He is set to be arraigned tomorrow morning in Henry County General District Court.
The next day, October 26th, her memorial service was held, a sanctuary filled with hymns, tears, and the ache of what should have been a lifetime. After the service, Casey posted again, this time not in rage, but in faith. Heavenly Father, in Jesus' precious name, I come before you with a heavy heart. Lord, I ask for your comfort and strength as I grieve the loss of my beloved sister Rhonda Hairston. Father, you know the pain and emptiness that loss brings, and I ask that you wrap me in your loving arms and give me peace that surpasses all understanding. Teach me, Lord, to keep moving forward with faith, honoring her memory through love, compassion, and purpose. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. The post reflected the family's shift from fury to faith, an acknowledgement that while justice was in motion, healing was going to take far longer. See, they'd already lost their father in October 2022. Losing Rhonda exactly 3 years later, that reopened wounds that had barely even closed. Number investigation details. The sheriff's office later confirmed that Rhonda died from a single gunshot wound consistent with a close-range attack. There was no evidence of robbery, no forced entry, nothing to suggest anyone but someone she knew, someone she trusted. The weapon recovered, it linked directly to Joseph Lockett, and as a convicted felon, he was already barred from owning or possessing a firearm in the first place. Authorities believe the motive stemmed from control and jealousy. Rhonda's decision to leave him came only 1 week before her death. Investigators concluded that Joseph's rage grew as she pulled away, and when she refused reconciliation, it turned deadly. Under Virginia law, first-degree murder is defined as an intentional, premeditated killing. The accompanying firearm charges added serious weight to the prosecution's case, ensuring a long prison sentence if convicted. Rhonda's story? It mirrors a tragedy playing out in homes across America every single day. Leaving an abusive or controlling partner is statistically the most dangerous moment for victims of domestic violence. That moment when you finally say, "I'm done," that's when the risk goes up. That's when control turns into violence. And Rhonda did everything right. She made the decision. She walked away. She was building her new life. But it still wasn't enough. Joseph Lockett now sits behind bars, awaiting trial. His legal process is going to move through arraignment, preliminary hearings, and eventually trial. A journey that could take months, even years. The charges against him are serious. First-degree murder, use of a firearm in the commission of a felony, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Each charge carries weight. Each one tells part of the story of what happened that October afternoon. The prosecution has physical evidence, forensic evidence, witness testimony, and a timeline that connects Joseph directly to Rhonda's death. But beyond the case files and courtroom schedules, beyond the legal jargon and the procedural delays, there's a woman who once dreamed of becoming a nurse, who found laughter in church halls and love in the faces of her sons. Rhonda Hairston Lockett was not just a victim. She was a mother who worked double shifts to give her boys stability, a sister who texted encouragement every morning, a daughter who filled her home with warmth even after loss. Her sister, Desania, her brother, Casey, and her sons, Omar and Xavier, now carry her memory forward. They speak her name in present tense, not was, but is. Friends remember how she would dance through the aisles at work, how she sang louder than anyone in the choir when the song was her favorite, how she made everybody around her feel seen. See, domestic violence doesn't always look the way people think it does. It doesn't always leave visible bruises. Sometimes it's quiet. It's control disguised as love. It's jealousy dressed up as concern. It's someone slowly taking pieces of you until you don't recognize yourself anymore. And when you finally find the courage to leave, that's when it becomes most dangerous. Rhonda found that courage. She made that choice. She took that step. But the system that's supposed to protect women like her, it didn't move fast enough. The warning signs that people missed, they were there all along. This case isn't just about one woman. It's about every woman who's ever been told, just leave, like it's simple. Like walking away doesn't come with its own set of risks. Like freedom doesn't sometimes cost everything. The statistics are clear. The most dangerous time for a victim of domestic violence is when they're trying to leave or have just left. That window right there, that's when homicides spike. That's when restraining orders get violated. That's when desperation turns into violence. Rhonda knew the risks. She left anyway, because staying wasn't an option anymore. Her story should have ended differently, with her sons graduating, with her finally becoming that nurse she dreamed of being, with Sunday mornings in the church choir and late-night calls to her sister. Instead, it ended on Garrett Road with a single gunshot and a family left to pick up pieces that'll never quite fit back together. Joseph Lockett made a choice that day, a choice driven by ego, by control, by the inability to accept that Rhonda wasn't his to own. And now 2 boys are growing up without their mother. A family is mourning a daughter, a sister, an aunt. A community lost someone who made the world a little brighter just by being in it. The legal system will do what it does. Joseph will face trial. A jury will hear the evidence. Justice, in whatever form it takes, will be pursued. But justice doesn't bring Rhonda back. It doesn't erase the trauma her sons will carry. It doesn't fill the hole left in her family. What it can do is send a message that women's lives matter. That leaving shouldn't be a death sentence. That we as a society have to do better, way better, at protecting people who are trying to escape dangerous situations. Rhonda's legacy isn't just her death. It's her life. The love she poured into her children. The faith she held on to even when things got hard. The strength it took to finally say, enough. That's what we should remember. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. If you haven't already, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. We upload new true crime content daily, covering cases you know and many you don't. Stick with us as we bring you more stories that deserve to be heard. See you in the next one.